Hello, welcome to Best School Online Tutorial. I trust you are all staying safe out there. Today, we'll be looking at the topic turnover. In our last class, we discussed profits, where we established the meaning of profits, types of profits, and content that can be found in trading accounts. Today, our concern is on turnover. Turnover is known as sales. Just like in our last class, we said profit is one of the ways of measuring if a business is progressing or not. Today, turnover also is one of the ways of measuring if a business is progressing or not. Our objectives for today are: 1. To define turnover, state the importance of turnover, and state the factors that can affect turnover. Our definition on turnover, it says that the net sales generated by a business over a particular period of time. In an accounting year usually starts from the beginning of the year, which is January, and closes at the end of the year. The trading account is usually prepared at the end of the year. Now, from there, they can tell if a business is making a profit or loss from the trading account. Now, the turnover is usually concerned about the sales that a company or a firm is able to make in a particular period of time, which is usually a year. We have rates of turnover. Just like turnover has to do with the sales that is made by a firm over a period of time. Rate of turnover is concerned about the number of times that a firm is able to sell its inventory. The number of times that a firm is able to empty its stock and also replenish the stock. Now, the rate of turnover varies from product to product. The reason is that some products sell faster than the other, and some products might be expensive and some might be cheap, while some are perishable and some are non-perishable. So there are some of the terms here we'll be looking at that will enable us carry out some calculations in this turnover. The first here is average stock. In our last class, we were able to look at some of these terms that can enable us carry out calculations and then the formulas. Here, average stock can be derived when we have our opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. The opening stock, which is the stock at the beginning of the year, and the closing stock, which is the stock at the end of the year. When we divide it by 2, we get our average stock for the year. Then we have cost of goods sold. To derive our cost of goods sold, it's going to be the opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock. So this will give us our cost of goods sold. Then we have an example here which will now lead us to the calculations for today. It says a large-scale retail concern had the following balances in its book as at 31st December 1998. Stocks 1st January 1998, 8,000. Purchases 85,000. Sales 120,000. Stock 31st December 1998, 7,000. Selling expenses, which is 10,000. Now, stock 1st January 1998, stock here implies the stock at the beginning of the year, which is the opening stock. Then stock 31st December 1998 implies stock at the end of the year, which is the closing stock. Selling expenses, these are expenses that was incurred while the firm is trying to sell its products. The question now is, we are required to calculate the cost of goods sold, the net profit, and the rates of turnover. So having established the meaning of this, we will be looking at how to arrive at this. Now, the procedure. This is a trading account. Now, it has two sides where we have the debit side, which can be found on the left-hand side, and the credit side at the right-hand side. So, the opening stock for the beginning of the year is 8,000 from the example we have there. Then our purchases is 85,000. So by the time we add our opening stock and purchases, we'll arrive at 93,000. Our sales is already there at the credit side, which is 120,000. Then we less our closing stock from what we derive from our 93,000. That will now give us our cost of goods sold. So if you can remember the formula where it says opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, that will give us our cost of goods sold. And here we have our profits, which is 34,000 naira. How did we arrive at this? Profit here can be gotten sales minus cost of goods sold. This is how we arrive at our profits, which is going to be 120,000 minus 86,000 naira. That will give us our gross profits. Now to arrive at our net profits, remember our selling expenses is 10,000 naira. So it's going to be 34,000 naira minus 10,000 naira to arrive at our net profits. Now, this might be a bit confusing because of the accounting way of calculating or accounting method of deriving the answer. However, there's an alternative. Now, the first is cost of goods sold, the gross profit, net profit, and rate of stock turnover. As simple as it is, we have here cost of goods sold, which is the opening stock plus purchases minus closing stock, which is 8,000 plus 85,000 minus 7,000. We will arrive at 86,000 as our cost of goods sold. Then we have our gross profit. Gross profit is sales minus cost of goods sold, which is 120,000 minus 86,000. Here we arrive at 34,000. Now, to get our net profit is going to be 34,000 minus 10,000. The gross profit is 34,000. Remember, to calculate our gross profit, it's going to be to calculate our net profit, it's going to be gross profit minus expenses. So which is 34,000 naira minus 10,000 naira. Our expenses is 10,000 naira. This is how we arrive at our net profit of 24,000 naira. And our rates of stock turnover, which is the number of times that goods was sold. The formula is cost of goods sold divided by the average stock. Now, if we can remember the formula very well, then all we just need to do is to insert the figures and arrive at our answers. Our cost of goods sold is 86,000 divided by 8,000 plus 7,000 divided by 2. Remember, the formula for average is going to be the opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. That is the formula for average stock. So here we have 86,000 divided by 7,500, which will now give us 11.46. So our rate of stock turnover is 11.46. So cost of goods sold 86,000, the net profit 24,000, rate of stock turnover 11.46. Now let's look at some of the factors affecting the rate of turnover. Factors that can affect sales in simple terms. The first is reduction in price of goods. Yes, customers love to buy when goods are cheap. So when the price of goods and services are cheap, it attracts more sales. This can lead to what? High rate of turnover. Goodwill and reputation of seller. Goodwill here implies good name, the character, the attitude of the seller or the people that are working in that firm. So the attitude or the character or the names that a company must have made over time can go a long way in helping to increase sales. If they are known for producing quality and standard goods or products, this will attract customers to purchase more of their products than buying from others. 3. The type of goods sold. Yes, The type of goods, so some goods are perishable, some goods are non-perishable. While there are some goods that can attract a lot of customers. Very good example, we can say goods of food, for instance, can attract customers. Reason being that customer will always eat or people will always consume, unlike other goods that people might not want to consume immediately. But when it comes to goods that can be consumed immediately, this might attract more sales because people will definitely consume. Then we have advertising, publicity and promotion. Advertising here has to do with creating awareness. Now, when you create awareness and people are aware of your product and its functions or what it can do, it can actually attract more sales. Promotion here you are trying to see how your customers or your customers will patronize you more than any other goods around. There are various ways that advertising can be carried out through radio, and then promotion here, one of the ways that you can promote your goods or your service is by giving out discounts to your customers. Then we have credit facilities. Yes, in Nigeria this is very very common. It is very very hard for you to go into business in Nigeria and not sell on credit. Now some people do not sell on credit, so people would want to patronize the seller that offers credit facilities to their customers. Credit here implies buying with the promise to pay in future. Lastly, here we have constant availability of goods. Constant availability of goods. There are cases where customers go to a seller or a shop and request for a product only to be told that such product has finished. And by the time a customer keeps coming from time to time and then he keeps hearing you do not have such a product, this will definitely discourage a customer from coming to patronize you. So it is important that you stock your shop from time to time so that you will not lose your customers. Thank you. So this is where we'll end in today's class. In our next class, we'll be looking at some of the calculations that we have in this topic. And also in our next class, it's going to come with assignments. Thank you for your attention. Do your best to stay safe. And I hope to see you back in school soon. God bless.